So welcome back to a brand new video, and in this new video what I've decided to do is I'm going to be basically rating all of Wolves' last signings from last summer, and basically let's see how they've got on either in a Wolves shirt or if they're elsewhere. So this video was a lot easier to make because there was only 4 signings, or 4 recognised signings that have played in the first team, so yeah, it made this a lot easier for me. Oh yeah, in no particular order really, let's just get straight into it. So, starting off with Jesus Vallejo. Obviously he joined from Real Madrid on loan for the season. And yeah, it's kind of weird, like, I remember seeing him for the first few games against Crusaders and Punic in the Europa League, and he seemed decent, he seemed like a decent player, it was good with the ball at his feet, his passing seemed decent at times. But it's when we got into the more competitive games, let's say in the Premier League. I remember one against Burnley. Yeah, it looked like he just couldn't handle it. I think the physicality and just the strength and just the whole intensity of the league, I just don't think he could really handle it. And in the end, it just didn't really work out for him. He didn't make too many appearances after that. Really, I think he made a couple in the Europa League and 1 or 2 in the league. But yeah, in the end, it just didn't really work out for him. Ended up cutting his loan short in January and is on loan at Granada, I believe, right now. And I think he's having an alright season. But he was rated really highly. I do remember Real Madrid do rate him really highly and still think he's going to get in the first team. I don't think he will. Maybe he'll sign for Granada at the end of the season. We'll have to see. But that is the first signing Wolves made. For the second one, you could say this was probably the most exciting transfer or the most well-known of the summer, and that was Catrone, the Italian striker, joined from AC Milan for around 23 million. So it didn't really come cheap, but again, not really too much of a risk in a way. But yeah, everyone known him for that season he had at AC Milan. He scored a decent amount of goals. The season after that, he didn't really score too many, I don't believe. But we still signed him for 23 million. Again, when he came in, he seemed very energetic, seemed very passionate. Done a lot of running as well, what Raul does like right now. But I don't know what about him. He just didn't really work. I don't know if he was homesick, because I know a lot of Italians are homesick. It could have been that, or I also don't think he just didn't want to be second choice. He just sat on the bench the whole time and used as a sub. Maybe Nuno could have played him in more games. Yeah, it just didn't work out for him. He did score a couple of goals. I remember one against West Ham and Chelsea. I don't think he scored in the Europa League, I don't believe. But yeah, again, it could have worked if he maybe played more games, but it's hard to tell now. And probably letting him go on loan, it was probably the right choice. He's on loan for 2 years, I believe, at Fiorentina now. But I think Fiorentina are gonna have to pay 18 million or something because he's played a certain amount of games. But he didn't seem to be doing too well there as well. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. But yeah, second one is Catrone. And the third signing, I'm actually going to include them in the both because they both came from the same club, and that is Pedro Neto and Bruno Jordão. Arguably, they're both still at the club, probably the best two of the best futures as well at Wolves. Both joined from Lazio for a joint 18 million, which, looking at it, I remember when it first came out, we'd never heard of these players before. There was virtually unknown. I don't think they made a lot of appearances for Lazio the season before. But yeah, it was unknown. 18 million for what, 2 19-year-olds, 2 18-year-olds was quite a weird thing. But yeah, both came in, both Portuguese. We'll start off with Neto, probably the better out of the two, and probably the best signing overall of the summer. Again, a very good player as well. This season he's done really well. He's got a few goals and assists in the Premier League and in the Europa League as well. Actually scored our last goal before lockdown against Olympiacos. But yeah, I'd say the best signing. He's probably worth that on his own now. Neto 18 million, probably even more. Still only young, 19, 20 around now. Very good player off the bench. Very good super sub. To bring on, and maybe in the next couple of years, if Jota goes or Adama goes or anything like that, I think he'll be more than a good enough backup for them. Bruno Jordão as well. Again, we haven't seen too much of him. He did get an injury quite early on into his Wolves career, but he's came back. He's played a few Europa League games, I believe, against Espanyol. Came on for a little bit. And I feel like with this game against Forest this week and the Premier League as well, with 5 subs, I feel like he could be used a lot more. Again, looks very good. I saw a couple of under-23 games. And I think he played against Reading, I'm pretty sure, in the Carabao Cup at the very start. And he looked decent, a decent midfielder. And yeah, I think both of them have probably got bright futures. Like if ever Neves left or Matinho retired or Dendoncker, I feel like Jordao could fill in very well there. But yeah, that is all the signings we made in the summer. I'd say Neto is definitely the best, and Jordao. Yeah, let me know your thoughts of all this, of all the transfers, and where you'd rank them, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did really enjoy this video. If you have been around and you have seen my last couple of videos, I have been promoting the Black Lives Matter movement quite a lot, and that's what I'm going to be doing for the next foreseeable future. So like the last couple of videos, there'll be a link in the description and in my Instagram bio to the Black Lives Matter card, and you can go on there and sign, vote on petitions and stuff like that. You can also donate if you do have the money. You can donate. All I'm asking you is to mainly educate and just research. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been doing for the last week or so. It's a very good website to use, so I do highly recommend it. That's all I'm asking. Just go and educate yourself and just research about it, because you don't want to be fighting for something that you have no idea about. So yeah, I do highly recommend that, and I will be carrying on researching and doing all this stuff and voting on petitions and stuff like that. So yeah, there'll be a link in the description and in my Instagram as well. So yeah, please go and check that out. That really means a lot to me. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys did really enjoy this video. There will be a link to my Instagram and my Twitter in my description, so go follow them. I'll update you whenever I upload. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video.